go into that direction, but Ascent, they did beat 7 in the last official, so they're definitely not to be trifled with. And this is pretty much a full roster. We have a D-Ski on Demo Man, Babs on Medic, Samsky on Roamer, Sorix, Credu on Scout, and then Polygon on the Pocket Soldier. And we are live. Let's see what they do here. Looks like D-Ski's going to do a very slow rollout or something. I don't know what he was doing, but Smear, he's definitely faster mid. So that's something. Well, let's see what happens here.
Credu is being on choke, waiting maybe for someone. Tom is bombing really early onto Credu, and he actually lives for some reason. Babs fell to Marosh. I didn't see where he came from. I assume from Valley or House. I don't know, but there's no medic on Ascent side. And it should, but Polygon and Samsky with the double frag on Marosh and Seroton just saving the mid, maybe for Ascent. Sorix scrapping another frag, and Drak is so weak on point. Can he live? And he dies to Sorix with the help of, I don't know who is there. I think Samsky.
Oh, scrap. The DM Beast from England. Can he do this? So, Tom will finish it off. So a long mid will eventually get won here by Antic. And both medic do go down, so it's pretty even. I don't think Spire will be up for grabs here, but yeah, definitely not. But they are going to send both scouts up there anyway. They don't seem to care much that it's being contested. So far, however, the Demo Man is doing a really good job of doing it, just contesting it. Both scouts are getting really hard hit here, but Polygon will be the first person to go down.
So weak, but she lived through Lobby. That was a scrappy fight, but in the end, Antic just takes it. You're right, they shouldn't have taken this Spire so easily, but in the end, they have the Spire and they have the ad.
Yeah, let's see how they use it. Looks like they're just going to go in through top lobby and then just probably go left side. Seroton, he's being very careful here. He doesn't want to get sniped, and I think he was a bit too careful. He didn't use the advantage at all, and now it's an Uber wasted, or an advantage wasted. Sorry, the Uber is still there, and Seroton is taking a bit of damage. So now it's just a matter of how do you actually get in here, and Drak is now off. Not off classing, but he's naming himself Drakpiss. You're fooling nobody, Drak. We know who you are. I see through you.
So welcome to Badlands, Badlands Last, where it's really hard to push and really hard to repush. We can see Credu with the Sentry and Sorix and Sniper, so they're just gonna wait for people. Amps? Not Amps, I fell for it. Drak and Tom just spam from bottom right, I got the Sniper. I don't think that's enough to push from, I don't know.
They're gonna send in a scout here very aggressively. He actually sends 2 in and they both die. So the rare double scout sack, and Tom was in as well, and he gets taken down at the tail end of that. Oh, if we're ever going to see a repush, I think now is the time. And Zorg's even about to spawn here, so he can just go scout and help jump onto Spire. However, it is still Badlands, and getting onto the Spire is very difficult. We see the Demo Man getting spammed down very aggressively here, as long as he just stands on it for just a tiny moment. And Samsky will go down, so already this is looking pretty promising as far as
Bad drops to Drak. Where did that came from? I think that was just Pam, but okay. So I heard Drak jumped on Babs and just got 2 rockets onto the Austrian medic, and the drop follows, and that should be it for Antic, as Adiski dies as well.
Yeah, and they did lose Spire, but they managed to take it back, and now they have the full Uber advantage, and this time I don't think they're going to waste it. It's a very big Uber advantage. They do have a sniper, which could be a bad thing. You know, sometimes they'll just not contribute on any push, but if you make anyone drop down into main, then he will be good. Like, you can just have anyone go into the tube and force people to go down into the low ground to deal with you, and then the sniper can just pick them off. So you definitely have some options here. I'm just going to send in a scout through top right to deal with the pyro right away. They will get Credu down pretty early, and Mero's even getting a pick in main as Samsky was going into him. And so far, it's looking pretty well. They're going to put some time onto the point. Scout doesn't get dealt with in time, and that's going to be 1-0 for Antic right off the bat. So very decent push right there. Yeah,
that just goes to show how Badlands is a really harsh map. You're not allowed to do any mistakes, especially when you're Spire. It's really hard to push from your last, and they just got punished from trying to playing an aggressive TF2. That's a shame.
Indeed, D-Ski is gonna get hit actually by a nice pipe here, or a nice sticky coming out from Smear. So Adiski is kind of out of the fight for a bit. Tom's going to jump in very aggressively here, along with his fellow soldier, and they will take down Polygon immediately, and even make it out alive with like 8 HP. But
Soren's got Seroton in the trade, so that's a really nice trade now for Ascent if they can get their medical life. Babs is heading straight to Trash with Credu, and I'm expecting Antic to be aggressive right now. If they're not going to do it right now, they're going to have to stay on mid and just wait for the push from Ascent.
yeah, there's no heals at all yet. Seroton has only just spawned, and right now I'm expecting to just see a push coming up from Ascent. We see a single scout hiding underneath the point, that's Mirage. So it will be a valley push right now. Polygon's trying to jump in pretty aggressively, or at least getting ready to do so. Yeah, here we go. Jumps in very aggressively. Just takes the enemy train and just back off and then jump back in again. So far they haven't really been very aggressive. Tom will go down the first one. Maris is now run behind lines. Oh, maybe he's going to go for the backup. He will indeed. There's 7 on the mid.
Oh, the double frag from the sticky trap from Smirk takes on Credu and Adiski. That's a really nice frag.
Yeah, Samsky did manage to deal with the back cap, but that's going to be it. Sork's not quite going to be able to move forward here and help his teammate. He's going to have to go back and save his medic. So they'll be moving out, and it's going to be a recap. Drak is thinking about chasing, but I think he was trying to do a speed shot, but didn't quite land it, so he's going to back off. But that sticky trap was huge, man.
Yeah, I assume he was in the small ammo pack, so maybe into around the points. But yeah, you should check that. And that was really harsh, hard punish for Ascent. And now Smear is leading the charge onto second resupply. They should get the Spire for free. And now it's all about will they be able to push on time with the ads. And it doesn't look like they will.
Yeah, they so far have been pretty bad at actually capitalizing on small advantages, and that's going to continue.
Credu is already on the engineer, ready to hold forever this last. I'm assuming to see some sacks from Tom, maybe scrap as well, and go for earth classes, because as of now they can't push they can't trade Ubers.
Yeah, it's actually been a long time since I've seen just like an exchange of Ubers. You always see like suicides and picks and all that. Like you never see people just Uber in.
Well, Swift tried and failed, so maybe that's why.
Yeah, maybe we have seen the answer to my question right there. That's very true. Also, it's a bit different on Badlands now, ever since they changed the cap time from 1 second to 2 seconds. It makes it a lot more difficult to cap. Whereas before, if you made any kind of chaos and had some different fights every once in a while, like you just, at some point, jump anyone onto the point, it will cap instantly. You can't quite do that anymore. Polygon spamming, no, he has no banner. Once again, I'm kind of surprised that we see no banners. I don't see the downside to doing a banner. Like, gunboats are not that useful on last. So having a banner or shotgun just seems like a really good idea.
Marush went aggressive on Samsky on top right and just gets the frag. He gets straight in the end, but I think he just got what he wanted, a frag and the opportunity to go sniper.
Yeah, like that was just like a silly, I'm just gonna sack play, right? And then he just ran in and then he just gets a kill, which means that you can't do a counter sack. It even got the guy who would otherwise counter sack, so that's really nice. And he has indeed gone sniper. So it's a really nice play there by Marriage. Dispenser goes down from Drak. He hates those things. And now they just need to take down the other healer. Samsky has actually gone spy.
Yeah, so as you went main, Scrap just shot randomly into main. He almost hit Samsky. That would have been a Vag ban right now if he had hit the spy.
Yeah, each of them would have been on that case for sure. So Samsky, he has now made his way in through main. He's on the Cloak and Dagger, so he's probably going to take his time. He could go for the easy Tom pick, right? But I think he has bigger goals in mind. He's going to make his all the way around. Just go in from behind the medic through balcony. That's like the best way to play spy here, in my opinion. And like if you want to get a med pick, this is the way that gives you the biggest chance of actually succeeding.
It looks like Antic is not gonna wait. No, they are. They try to get Scrab and Marush in. Marush died. Oh, and Samsky gets into the smear. What a play! What a spy play from the spy, and he got 2K, and that's a repush for Ascent. That's how you break stalemates.
Yeah, Tom did get a kill very close to last, so they might not know. He's actually going to be onto the medic. He hits a nice first rocket and then a nice rocket onto the scout. However, he has not forced Babs, and Babs did not panic. So she's just going to climb spy along with the scout. There's still one person behind lines. That's a soldier. That's Tom once again, and he's going to trade with Zorix. I think they're pretty happy with that trade. And they get fired.
I see here Marush and Sniper, and Scrap and Drac almost at the spawners, but with the Spider cap, they got a second more, so it should be a push from Ascent right now if they want to take over the ads they have. They're going
Polygon.
through house. Polygon is jumping through mid, and it should be a really clean entry unless he dies. But Adiski supports his soldier, and Scrap dies to Samsky, who was in the backline. That's a really nice push. It didn't even have to use the Uber.
Yeah, it's always really nice when you can get these pushes where you don't have to use anything for it. Like, you just spent some time, basically. And now they're going to have to actually get Uber's exchange to take the Spire. But Adiski going down, that's a really big deal. That's going to make fighting the Spire a lot more difficult. And Smear hits a nice pipe onto the medic as well. Bab's very weak. She's going to have to get out of here. Otherwise, she's going to die. And I think Smear's on the loose. Like, he wants to chase. And he hits a nice pipe. And actually gets to the second pipe as well. I don't know how aimed that one was, but it definitely worked. And all of a sudden we see 3-2 players down on the side of Ascent. And they're going to have to just repeat and give up
Zorix
mid.
gets Marush in a Wonder One under the point. He gets punished by Smear, but that was I didn't think Marush expect that to happen. And now it's another stalemate on second. Ubers are exactly the same, and Samsky is on Sniper. He did his job on Spy, so I'm expecting him to be quite as good on Sniper now.
Yeah, we'll see. As Wiethoofd, you need to not sit on your headset. Let's see. Samsky's gonna miss his first shot, and now they know there's a sniper for sure. I don't know if they knew before, but now they do. He hits a headshot onto the demo man. That's a good start. And oh, he actually got a nice look onto the medic there. Serotonin deciding to go on top of the train. For all you aspiring medic mates out there, don't climb on top of the train when there's an enemy sniper. That's a really bad idea. And here comes the soldier suicide. Guts onto Babs, but no, not quite able to get. But oh, Babs pops it just in time as a scout is onto her, and that was a really good pop actually. A lot of medics would have just dropped that, but
yeah, she
nope.
tried to milk as much as she could, but in the end she had to use the Uber is not used from Serotonin, and Tom coming from Hunter just get the medic in the end, and that should be it for Spire and Antic, unless Samsky can get a frag from main, but he's peeking very aggressively, but he's retreating now.
Yeah, Tom, he's chasing. He's thinking about it. Like he's gonna get the sidelined by a scout here. He actually made it into drop down. So he's kinda ish behind lines, not really. No, as the rest of his team move forward, he moves comfortably into the front lines here as well. So we have an Uber advantage coming out for Serotonin so far. They've been really bad at actually pushing on these, and they are going to have to move into a Pyro, of course. So maybe they just don't want to, but I don't know. This seems like a significant enough advantage that it would be absolutely foolish not to use it.
Yeah, but will they? You mentioned it. They failed twice already, but now they're going in. The Uber is used on both Scrap and Smear, but Pyro from Cradle does quite a job in putting up the Uber. He eventually dies, but that should be it for Antic. Scrap is
single scout on the point.
So smart.
Yeah, that would have definitely capped it in the olden days, but not quite today. So Soldiers are really weak, but gets arrowed, and then Smear hits a nice pipe, and I think this pushes over, but Smear, he's thinking about going back in, but no. Serotonin is just saying, oh my god, what a pipe from Smear. That's actually gonna be a really big deal, because that's gonna make capping Spire a lot more difficult. Having a scout up there would have just made it a complete no-brainer, but having a demo man and a soldier that are both pretty weak, that could be contested, and they will actually get it out. The second scout does manage to come out there and cap it out, but I think there's going to be a re-push here, so Adiski cannot make it out alive, and just being able to take a demo man off the Spire would have been absolutely crucial in that push. So Smear hitting that really crucial pipe was very, very important.
It's another ad for Serotonin now, but 3 times there were an ad, and 3 times it failed, so I'm not expecting anything good to happen right now. I don't think Antic is going to push out of this. They're going to try to get some outclasses. We can see Sorex on the heavy and Kredu on the Pyro once again.
Well, I for one have faith in Serotonin and his bodies, and I think they're going to go in. They're actually going to go a different way, and they're going to milk it pretty well this time. And they get Samsky right away, so they definitely have some picks already, and I think they're trying to get people into the tube here to deal with the demo man, and they do get a Adiski, so all of a sudden this is looking like a really good push. And if they just come back in, they can definitely get this. Smear is very weak. They're all a whole bunch of weak. Drac is in. He got taken down, but I mean, if they just went in, they were 3 on 5. They could have gotten this, but they decided not to. So that's what I get for trusting them, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it just got scared of the Babs Uber. Maybe that was a mistake, because as you said, they could have taken the best hand of this fight after the bird faded. But now it's another small ad. And they once again failed their push, so this time I think they're just gonna have to get off classes and get sacks in, because you can't try again over and over and not trying anything new.
Yeah, at some point you've got to mix it up. Like you do have an Uber advantage once again, so like you could just go on it, but nope. They're just gonna send in a scout, kind of haphazardly. He dances around a bit and then gets sticky trapped. So maybe that was halfway to the plan. Like, I don't remember seeing Scrap going sniper too much. I think I've seen it once or twice or something. But they might just send back Maros, and I think they were trying to, but they actually find a soldier trying to go up to the drop down. Alrighty. I don't know exactly if that was called. Maybe it was, but Samsky was going for the.
Tom is behind the point and he's not cool. He can get to Babs. He's jumping in and gets the force out of Babs. Really nice play from Tom. Marush dies in the process. I guess he was just a decoy on top right. But now the Uber is used and we have in front of us a real true Uber ad for Antic.
Yeah, let's see if they can use this first order of business to hold this spire. They do have a demo man to complete this with, and immediately he's going to do work. I think it's going to be extremely difficult. Oh, and they actually get forced out here. That's a bit unfortunate. However, if they just get enough kills, they can roll all the way back into last. So let's see how they do this. They have 2 picks right now, and they're going to be rolling in through main right now. Spearheaded by Smear. It's going to put some stickies at least close to the point, but it looks like the heavy is too much for them, and they're going to have to back off. And as the spawns come in, I think we can call this another failed push.
Well, it's like, how many times now? 5, 6 times? Nah.
It's something like that, but I mean, at least it's back and forth, right? It's not like they're sitting on there and doing nothing.
Yeah,
it's just,
exactly.
I can't say I'm not entertained. Like, Spire keeps changing hands, and now once again we see them pushing out here onto the Spire. And this time around, they don't have the demo man
on. And forces Uber another time. I think it's the 3rd time that Babs uses the Uber with less than 20 HP. So she's been really close to dropping 3 times, but she managed not to. That's really nice play from her. But now there's another D's hat for Ascent, and Polygon is launched in the air. It eventually dies, and Uber is used from Seroton. That should be grim.
Yeah, Samsky's in behind, takes down Tom, so now he will be called, but he gets a pick. So this could be very uncomfortable. Like they're gonna think that Samsky is behind. He's actually not. He's just underneath the stone bridge. But he's gonna jump Spire, gets a nice rocket onto the demo man, gets finished off by Sorks, and that's gonna be another successful Spire hold. So just pushing this Spire has been an absolute hell for both of these teams. But now once again we have an Uber advantage, we have a man advantage, and they're getting ready to go into mid. They don't quite have the Uber yet, but they should have it very soon. And I think Seroton knows it, and he's just gonna be backing off.
And Marush was trapped again, and can he get the force out of Babs? She doesn't use with less than 20 HP! Can we say that a girl gamer as balls? I don't know, but she had this time.
Yeah, that's incredible. And we have to remember that almost dropping is the same as not dropping. So that's really important to keep in mind here. She's been very weak, very often, and just never pops in unless she absolutely has to. So far she's been very impressive. And Disky's gonna go in very aggressively. Like, we see them still holding in trash area right now. They're gonna just keep rotating players up, I suspect. And right now we see Ascent, they're just kind of backing off, and I think they smelled that they were losing advantages here, both for like damage and man and Uber advantage. So they just decided to back off. And we actually see all of Ascent moving into house right now. They have like 5 players playing that angle, but eventually they just decide not to go all in on it. And now we are left in choke here with even Ubers, and whichever teams wants to take the initiative, they can do it.
Well, I saw Samsky going back to second resupply, so I assume he's going for something a bit weird. Or maybe Amos, yeah, solely. I was expecting a big Samsky brain with a sniper or spy of class, but it doesn't happen.
Yeah, could have even gone banner. I feel like I've mentioned this a lot, but no banners so far. Oh, I was
Polygon gets a drop on Seroton! It was so high up in the air! but he managed to get 3 nice rockets on Seroton, who for some reason saw the rocket coming right to his face and didn't use.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess he was just doing his best Babs impression, but just didn't quite have. I don't know. It was really weird. Like that's a bad drop, right? When you just see it coming the entire way and you just go, "I shouldn't pop this," and then you just drop it. That's really unfortunate.
Yeah, and as a medic, you can't even say, "Scout, why don't you hit people?" Because this drop is solely on your fault.
Yeah, it was just him. I mean, we can only assume that he thought it wouldn't hit him, right? The only thing that makes sense. Like, I don't think he's principled where he just doesn't pop it, but let's see. Bab's going to take it in here with the Pyre, into the Pyre with the Scout and the Demo Man. They're going to take down the Pyre pretty quickly. There's also a Sentry Gun that will be taken down as well. So Kratos just leading this charge, and he's going to move in, and it finally gets taken down, and all of a sudden this is looking pretty bad. No Scouts anymore to get cap time on it. Polygon with a nice little rocket here onto Dragon. Samsky just going to walk onto the point for some reason. That seemed kind of unnecessary. And now Babs is stuck in there along with Polygon. I don't think she's going to make it out alive. He's going to, I don't know, go for the point. Yeah, another failed push. Badlands just really being cruel today.
Yeah, I think it's cruel every day, to be honest. It's really hard map to push on, and I can't wait for Prolance to be tested and released. But yeah, in the end, it's just another failed push. I think that was the first attempt of Ascent pushing on last. Yeah.
Soldier's behind lines. He has just been spotted, and he's fighting Tom. So he's going to be somewhere in the depth of blue base for a long time, I have a feeling. He finds another soldier to just hang out with. You know, he's threatening the backup on Spire, and if he gets up there, it's going to be very difficult for soldiers to actually block him, and he will get on it. So, immediately, this is looking very good. Tom, he has to go in. There's 2 soldiers.
Drac is in as well.
Yeah, 2 soldiers will be enough to block this Spire, and actually take down Sword as well, but they had to take so many players back that they lose mid.
Yeah, the Uber was used from Seroton, apparently. I didn't catch that, and both Marosh and Scrap died, so in the end you traded both your soldiers and the Spire for nothing, and Babs has the Uber ad now. They can pressure cap maybe, or just wait for a Adiski, but it looks like Polygon is jumping and trying to do some MGE versus Drac.
Yeah, at 5, here we go. So Drac is just going for the big air rockets, not hitting any of them, and eventually getting dropped from the Uber. Well, there was no Uber to be dropped from, but he gets dropped to the Uber. As Creative will jump on top of Spire, cap it out along with his Scout buddy. But Seroton looks like he will be able to build his Uber for last, so I think at this time, like, what would you do as Ascent in this situation? Would you just hang back and do nothing? Would you send a player back to go sniper? Like,
I know Ascent quite likes to play with off classes, not off classes, but weapons that are not stock weapons. Unlocked here, and the Uber is used, so I'm gonna babble after this. Smear going so aggressive on a combo, but it just dies straight away to Samsky.
Yeah, he did a lot of damage, and you see Scrap is now in onto the medic. Can he get him? The medic's so weak.
Oh Babs! She does it again!
And now, yeah, she's like on 40 HP again, so Babs is being the absolute MVP so far. Maris is in on being pressured, or that was actually Samsky that was in there, trying to get Tom. He got Tom really down low, but man, Babs is just carrying so hard right now, just clutching it and popping it just the nick of time every single time. So no slip up so far, and it looks like she's going to be going bottom right with her team. She's going to pop in right away. They'll take down Tom. That's really good. If they can just clear the point of stickies, or at least pressure people off of it, that would be good. There we go. Point has been cleared of stickies. Great push in there, just spurred on by Babs winning that 1v1.
Yeah, this point is entirely for Babs. She never drops when she was under 20 HP, and there she gets the 2 souls out of Scrap. So yeah, that's a carry medic right there.
Yeah, you saw it here first. It's actually possible. You just have to be really good at the game or something. I wouldn't know. But there's going to be another mid-fight. It's 1-1, 6 minutes remaining. So either team, if they win this, they would be in a really sizable advantage. We're going to see Kratos taking a fight with Maris right off the bat. Kratos taking more damage than his counterpart. But Samsky will be the first person to go down. And everyone right now, for Ascent, they look like they want to go across, but they're being really passive, and they're just going to run back right now. And looks like everyone else from Ascent will just move forward and take this point.
Yeah, that's neither medic died on this mid, so that's quite new. With Adiski up there, giving up choke for some reason. Maybe they weren't enough. I didn't catch that, but they should be able to hold Spire. If Seroton hitting a nice arrow on Babs, maybe that's enough to prevent her from going to Spire. But Drak is in trash, trying to get on Nadiski, is shut down, and it should be a fight around the Spire. Polygon is acting like he's the king of the point there on his fences, and Credu dies with Clever's Trap.
Yeah, Sticky Trap is really important. The Scrap, he's trying to get ready to go up onto the Spire right now, and I think he finally found his opening, but Polygon takes down Drak. Nice rocket from him. And now we see Scrap putting time onto the point, and here comes the Soldier. He's gonna jump 2 scouts. That's a bad time right there. He does get Ubered on, so he gets saved, but man, jumping 2 scouts feel bad no matter what. Here comes the counter Uber from Seroton, and now everyone from Ascent, they just have to remove, get out of there, just run away. Sorix actually wins the 1v1 against Maros. So Sorix, he had a pretty disappointing season overall, but no, he's still fragging.
Adiski tries to go for a cocky jump, he doesn't die, and it actually works out because he's followed by both of his scouts, and that cocky jump may actually give Ascent the possibility to go on mid. Everyone is hitting on choke. Samsky with a good aggression on Seroton, and he gets him with Adiski and the follow-ups and Smear and Scrab. That was some aggressive TF2, and that's really good, with Marush still hiding again.
Yeah, it's like the second time he's been hiding down here this game. He just spotted a Soldier, so maybe he can get Polygon. Oh, he's just gonna go through house, so looks like he'll just end up going back to last.
I think Adiski is going for quickies. I see him going to the Resop. I know Adiski loves to play with quickies, and yeah, he goes out with quickies. I think he's the Demoman who use the Quickie Bomb Launcher the most out of every Demoman in Prem, so I'm not really surprised to see him. And the Quickie Bomb Launcher was one of the reasons that Unexpected actually beat 7 on Granary. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's a classic Ascent play.
Yeah, he's gonna just clear all the point of Sticky, so if at any time they decide to go onto the point, it's gonna be clear. I think that's just his entire goal right here for this push, but finally they do get a single scout onto it. It's almost enough actually. He didn't quite manage to have enough stickies actually on it to do any damage, but no, Babs, can she do it? No, but everyone else can. So that's going to be another point for Ascent. There's 3 minutes remaining. It's still up in the air, but Antic, they're going to need this mid.
Yeah, it's quite a comeback. They were 1 down for a really long time, and then a nice play from Babs and Adiski consecutively give 2 rounds to Ascent. Yeah, what a comeback, and this mid is really important now. You don't want to get wiped there.
Yeah, for sure. If you get wiped, it's just over for Antic. Let's see. It looks like it's going to be pretty passive to begin with. So they know. Adiski gets popped into the air and then eventually taken down. Great play there by Smear, but a nice jump in there from the roaming Soldier will be really good. There's also a scout behind. That's Sorix. You don't want to have Sorix behind you. So Credu is alive with Babs. So they're just going to be splitting them? No, they're not going to go in. That's probably smart. Yeah, there's 4 on 3. So Babs decides to just go out. They're just going to play it safe right now and hold Spire for as long as they can, and just have Sorix hide behind and maybe get some sort of cheeky pick.
They should hold close now. With Sorix was behind and bought them a lot of time. They should be holding way closer now, but it looks like, yeah, Adiski is going on his way to hold choke.
That was really funny. Sorix. Yeah, but Drak and Maros both going down here, that's a really big deal. It's going to make it a lot easier to hold this Spire. It's taking Spire when you don't have a lot of players is super difficult. A Soldier onto Babs though is going to force, and this, for the first time, is actually a questionable pop. I don't know, I don't think the rocket actually managed to leave, but here comes the counter Uber. Smear tries to jump forward, but he gets kind of stunted by everybody. He does manage to get Credu on the exit here, so he will get picked off instead though. Drak, he knows he has to go forward though. They have to move forward, they have to get this Spire. There's about 1 minute remaining. If they don't get this, they're out of the tournament. They're going to move forward. Scrap, he's going to move up onto Spire, and this is really tense.
Okay, I'm calling it right now. We saw 8 push, we ending up with beef, so they're not going to make it now. Babs is going to get her Uber right now, and I don't see anything out of nowhere finding a solution.
I'm going to say
sorry for spoiling it.
Yeah, like, you're being very logical, and I feel like that's being dumb. Like, I'm gonna say the illogical thing, which is that they're gonna they're gonna succeed in this push despite being at an uber disadvantage and having failed every single push before. So they're just gonna go in here now, try to see if they can get a pyro. So they have a Maris onto the point, and he gets taken down by a soldier, and the Uber have been forced out, and Seroton has gone down, so Uber was definitely worth it. And there's still a soldier in that's Drag, he's gonna get taken down, so that's a complete wipe. Your logic prevails. And that's gonna be GG. Ascent managed to take it. In what we could consider a bit of a comeback, I'd say. That was a very good comeback.
It was really a hard game for them at some point. Like for 15 minutes, they just were on the back foot, holding on their last forever. And even though they lost a round, they just kept going in. And we said it before, and we're going to say it again. But I think the two most important players in this game were Babs and Adiski, both gaining one round for the team, and that's really nice to see how within a team you can have standout players at some point.
Absolutely. So let's look at some logs before we figure out what game 2 to watch next. So, top damage is of course the most important stat that I always look at first, and that is Smear. Smear had a really good game. He went 21 for 11. He was definitely fragging. We saw him jump in very aggressively a bunch of times, and sometimes he would die from it, but a lot of the time he would just also do a ton of damage in the process.
Yeah, I think we didn't say it during the game, but Smear's sticky trap was so good. He got so many scout picks out of them, and I think that's what kept them into the game for so long. But yeah, I think Smear is definitely the standout player for Antic, and then we can see Polygon and Samsky both top damaging for their team, like the soldier combo really shining.
Yeah, absolutely. They were a huge part of it. I will say I'm a little bit surprised by Sorgs. He's been having a very middling season. You know, he was like the up and coming scout. You know, he was basically like the Tiger, like what Tiger's looking like now. That was what Sorg was looking like, and now Sorg, he's kind of fallen off quite a bit. It's very surprising to me to see. Like 178 damage per minute, 16 kills, 12 deaths. That's fine, right? But for Sorg, I'm still somehow disappointed by that. I don't know if I'm being unfair.
That's pretty much how Ascent plays. I know Aliski's wants both Sorex and Credu, mostly Credu, but Sorex as well play close to Babs. And maybe that's why it doesn't go that much for solo plays or 1v1s and doesn't get that many damage. And talking about Babs and Seroton, like both medics have really few deaths, and Babs with only 5 deaths. When you remember all this time she used below 20 HP, that could easily have been like 12, 15 deaths a game, but in the end it's only 5, so yeah, shout out to the medic.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, she was definitely the MVP. But alright, the next game is going to be Ascent versus Lolly Squad. So we're going to get to see these guys in action once again. We're going to see them take on the